Hello and welcome back to Everything Tumbler Tutorials. My name is Rebecca Escott and I am so excited to show you guys, even though I have done so many, well, I've done a couple sublimations, one using a convection oven, and check this out. So I since went and got the Cricut Mug Press, a couple $100 over at Michael's, as well as some of their cups, not tumblers, cups, and these are sublimation ready. So with that being said, you can actually use Sublimation ink and Sublimation printers to make this happen, or you can actually purchase their Infusible inks, which is exactly what I've done. And I picked up a couple of these, and this is incredible because this works just like sublimation paper, except that it's Cricut Infusible ink. Super, super, super fun, super easy. These are dishwasher safe. You're going to hear me say that a couple of times throughout the video, as well as microwavable, and these are now ready to be washed however you choose. Super fast. You don't even have to use epoxy. This one is the one that I show on the tutorial for today, and you'll notice that I had a little bit of a mishap. This, I say again multiple times, was my fault, not the machine's fault. It was all about clamping it and getting it in there, you know, sitting it just right and making sure when I got it in there that my image was fully clamped when I pressed this. And so I did not, and I got a different angle and saw that I had a little bit of a mishap. But that's okay because it's absolutely beautiful. The colors are so vibrant. They are so stunning. I'm super happy with it. And this happens to be a 12-ounce coffee cup that I used for this, all three of them actually. So super fun. So I know I've kind of like shown you guys another route, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I hands down prefer, having spent the extra couple hundreds of dollars to purchase this machine versus using my convection oven, in my opinion. This only takes about 5 to 6 minutes, and it does all the calculation and all the works for you. There is a one-time installment, so you want to hook this up to your computer. You cannot do it with your cell phone. It must go onto a laptop or a desktop. It comes with the USB cord in which you're going to install, and you do need to have Cricut Design Space, even if it is the free version, in order to install and update or whatever it is that you got to do with the initial. It takes literally less than 5 minutes, and it was all ready to go. Also, I wanted to show you that I do speak about in the later parts of the tutorial. Slide this off really quickly. I want to show you. So when you get ready to cut, you have the clear Cricut Infusible ink, okay, and then you have your image. When you place it onto your mat, you really make sure the image is facing upward, like so. So then when you put this into your Cricut to cut it out, you're going to make sure that you mirror image. I do speak about this later on, but I didn't show you at the time because I had already had the image cut and designed for this. And as you can see how dull looking this appears on the mat, but then when it's on the cup, it's super vibrant and bright. Because this ink is going to sublimate into this cup, and you can't feel it, you can't ruin it, unless you don't clamp it correctly. Again, you'll hear that's on me later, but not to worry, it ends up beautiful. So with that being said, let's get to it. So here we are now with the design space, and I'm going to show you how we're going to replicate this design. So for now, I'm just going to go ahead and close it out. And then I'm going to go to Images. Up here to the top left, click on All Images. Under Highlighted Categories, click on Image Sets. You can type in Mug. And here's where you're going to have a selection of the things that Cricut Design Space will offer for you. You can either get the access and be subscribed to all of these, or you can purchase these sections individually. So I'm going to go into the design starters right here. And I already found my favorite. So I'm going to get back to that and we're going to pull that in right here. Click on Insert Images. And as you can see, it's already laid out to the size in which that we need. So I'm basically going to set that off to the side and click on Text. I'm going to type in Mom. I am using the Arial Black because I did want this to be bold. So I'm going to ungroup that and remove the O. Go ahead and delete that. Then I'm going to go into Shapes. And I want to put in a heart. But I'm going to kind of manipulate this heart the way that I want it to be. I want it to slightly connect, and then I'm going to weld them together. I'm going to align to the bottom, which I like the way that is. So what you want to do is select all of them and weld it. So they become as one piece as this is one piece. So when you go to slice, you need to make sure and be mindful that you can only slice 2 images at one time. So here I'm just basically going to kind of manipulate this, if you will, and find the right placement to where I'll be happy with it, which I really like that. So I'm going to go ahead and select both images and I'm going to click Slice. I'm going to pull this down because this is the image that we want. And these two, which you can see there's 2, we don't need those. So now we're ready to go ahead and make this. So up at the right hand corner, click Make It. And guys, make sure you're in the habit of just mirror imaging. It's really important that this is going to kind of go backwards. So with that being said, just get in the habit of making sure that you do mirror image, especially with sayings and such, just so that you never have a boo-boo. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and continue. Go to Browse All Materials. Once you've set your dial to custom on your Cricut, then this will pop up, and then click on Browse All Materials. Here we're just going to type in the Infusible Ink. Click on that and click Done. And here's where we're going to have the default pressure and the settings, and everything's going to be perfect for us. I've already printed this, or I should say I've already cut this out so I can meet you back at the table. When cutting this, make sure your design is facing upward and the plastic transfer sheet is laying on the mat. I hope I made that make sense, but you'll see as I can reiterate that when I get to the table and I'll show you better. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and cancel this and I'll meet you back at the table. And now I'm going to show you how we're going to go ahead and wrap. This is the cut piece that we just did. Love this image. I cannot wait to see this on the cup. So this is the Infusible Ink from Cricut. This works exactly like Sublimation, if you will, and these are durable and they are dishwasher safe as well as microwavable. So let me go ahead and show you how we do this image. As you can see, mine is curled. I don't get as lucky as everybody else where they can peel it off the mat and it lays flat. I do not get that lucky. So I have to kind of manipulate it just a little bit and get it to where I'm happy with it and even. So it takes me a little bit longer, I would say, to really get this on a cup versus others, because I do not have any luck with getting this to stay flat. I'm going to work this around the entire cup and keeping this nice and tight. So I'm not 100%, see this here, not 100%, so I don't think I want to lift that, but I will snip that, because I am over a little bit more than I'd like to be. So I'm just going to snip that and just lay that flat so it stays nice and tight. And here how this is lifting, I'm actually going to use heat tape and I'm going to seal that up nice and tight. Normally you don't have to do that, but I put in a new blade on my Cricut and it just is really it's really cutting well. So honestly, you don't normally have to do this, but I am going to do this, and I'm just going to wrap all the way around the top just to make sure it's nice and snug. My first cup that I did not have to do this. It did cut very well, but this second one and this one I've had to really just make sure it was gonna stick down. And this is heat transfer tape, so it works really, really well. In the meantime, let's go ahead and turn on the Cricut, and then it's going to go ahead and heat up and be ready when we're ready. I don't think I need to do the bottom. It's pretty adhered. I'm pretty satisfied with how that's on there, so I'm going to go ahead and leave that be. But the top, I just wanted to just secure that a little bit better, and I'm happy with that. So when this heats up, we're going to be ready to move on. So once your light turns green, you are now ready to go ahead and put your cup into the press. And you're simply going to press down this lever, make sure everything's nice and tight, and it automatically starts doing the work for you. You don't have to worry about any convection settings. You don't have to worry about 12 minutes because it only takes like 5 or 6 minutes and it's done. All right, so stand by and we'll be back and we'll reveal it together. So now that we're at the 5th light, once that stops blinking, it's going to beep and let me know that it's ready to open. So we're going to go ahead and lift the lever and release the mug from the press. And this is super, super hot. So I'm going to go ahead and let this sit right here on my heat glove, and we'll come back in about 15-20 minutes and we'll go ahead and reveal it together. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and remove the tape and the transfer sheet. It's still a little warm. I didn't quite wait the whole time frame, but that's okay. Just be careful when removing it. Oh my gosh, guys, look at how stunning this is. Now I will say, I noticed when I put it inside the machine that I didn't clamp it correctly, and this ghosting appearance here where the ink didn't completely transfer, which lines up with the transfer itself. You can see how this did not go onto the tumbler. That was my fault in the way that I clamped it. I will be more mindful and careful of that when doing so, otherwise that happens here. But it's literally gonna be okay. I think these colors are amazing. It's super, super vibrant. These are dishwasher safe, they are microwavable, and these are excellent gifts all day long. I love, love, love these. Oh my gosh, look at how pretty that looks. So then I have all 3 of these completed. And then there's this one with the zebra print. This is still like, this is probably my favorite, even with my little mishap. That was totally my fault. Wow, that is so pretty. So if I haven't mentioned, these are Cricut sublimated cups, and you can use other sublimation cups as well. But you know, for a few extra bucks. I mean, you can go right down to Michael's and purchase these cups. Thank you so much for watching my tutorial. If you guys enjoyed this with the mug press, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more tutorials coming soon. I want to thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in. I'll see you next time.